If it feels like your ex-wife has moved on from your separation or divorce really, really quickly and you're struggling to do so, you're not alone. Most of my clients have this very same experience. I primarily work with men going through unwanted divorces. This is a common phenomena, and understanding these two things is actually going to help you a lot in making sense of the divorce and understanding how to move forward in a really healthy way. And when I say in a healthy way, I mean moving forward such that you don't repeat the same patterns, the same mistakes, so that you never end up here again. So first, let's talk about what moving on means. If your ex has moved on quickly with a new partner, we're going to talk about why she does that and how that happens so easily. Her moving on might also look like she doesn't want to talk to you, she doesn't want to see you, she doesn't want to spend time with you. And when you try to just like reach out, maybe to see how she's doing or talk about the status of your relationship or talk about the kids, right? Like really reasonable requests, she might like accuse you of harassment. She might be threatening to or have actually filed a restraining order. Okay, so sometimes her moving on actually looks like she wants nothing to do with you. And that can be really confusing, especially if you guys had a really good relationship moving up to the divorce. So she's moved on, you haven't. And this is so painful. You guys, most of the men I work with, they say, look, she's moved on and I have to do the same. Like I have to, there's no going back. Like she's made it very, very clear that we're not getting back together. I've got to move forward, but I never thought I would have to, right? I never dreamed I would be in this position. This wasn't my plan, and I really have no idea how to go about doing it. And interestingly, the reason that she's able to move on so quickly and the reason that you're not able to move on, they're really closely related. So the key here is that both you and her, are focusing on the external. You're working from the outside in. And when I say you're working from the outside in, what I mean is that you're trying to arrange the external circumstances of your life to create a positive internal feeling inside of your body. Right? You're trying to use what's out here in the world to impact how you feel in here. And so she has decided that not being married to you, that being divorced, is the external situation that's going to make her feel good. Whereas you are stuck with the opposite problem, right? You're quite certain that not having her in your life anymore, not living the future that you had planned or dreamed together, that is going to prevent you from ever feeling okay on the inside again. But guys, whenever we work from the outside in, we are dooming ourselves to helplessness and to failure. This is true of you, and it is true of your ex-wife or your soon-to-be ex. This is especially true for her if she's moved on quickly with another guy. If she's jumped from your marriage into a new relationship, that's a key sign that she's looking for an external situation for the right partner, the right man, who's going to make her feel something. But I can promise you this, what she's missing on the inside, what she's not feeling, can't be solved by an external situation. Can't be solved by the right man. All of us, men and women both, we all have our shadow selves, our internal demons. We have our regrets, we have our fears, we have our insecurities, we have our attachment wounds from childhood. We have that little voice that says mean things to us or reminds us how we're not good enough, how we're not smart enough, how we won't be loved, how we're going to be alone. Right? That's all internal. That's what's happening inside of you. And it was created by events in your life when you were quite young, when you were still learning how to think about yourself in the world. But now it can't be fixed by arranging your external circumstances, by arranging your life. It can't be fixed by staying married, by getting divorced, by finding the perfect woman. We can help each other heal those past wounds in the right kind of relationship, but it has to be work that we do from the inside out. And so if you are struggling to move on, and if you're looking at your ex moving on, and she's just jumping into new relationships, she seems to be feeling like she's so much happier and her problems are all solved by not being married to you anymore. I can promise you this, she and you are both falling victim to the same trap. You're both believing that what's out there, that the external is going to fix what's happening in here. And you are both wrong. It's going to backfire for her, and it's already backfiring for you. Healing has to start from the inside out. You have to figure out who you are. Outside of your marriage, outside of your relationship with her, who are you at your core on the inside? How do you think? How do you show up? How do you want to feel? How do you want to live your life? What are the values that guide you? What kind of person, what kind of man do you want to be if you are not defining yourself as husband, as father, as white knight, as savior, as protector, as provider? Who are you really? When you start to take full responsibility for how you think and feel, when you stop trying to control the people around you or control the situations in your life or arrange things to be just so that you never get triggered, so that you don't get angry, so that you don't get hurt, so that you don't get upset, when you stop trying to fix everything out there that is so hard to control, and you slow down and you get really curious, what am I thinking? How am I feeling? What brings that up? What is my brain making it mean when she doesn't want to be with me? When this person cuts me off in traffic? Every little thing and big thing that pisses your brain off, that upsets you, that triggers you, that freaks you out, that scares you, that creates anxiety, stop. Take a deep breath and get curious. What is going on inside in response to the external that is creating this really unpleasant feeling inside of me? Your emotions have a great wisdom for you. They're there for a purpose. They have a lot to teach you. And when you take full responsibility for how you feel and you start to get curious about how you're thinking and how that's driving how you react to different situations and how that's driving your resilience or your lack of resilience, you start to get back in control of how you feel, back in control of the direction your life moves in, and your relationships will get so much better and they will be so much different. One of the biggest fears that my clients and the men that I talk to here on YouTube express to me is they don't want to be in this situation again. And they're so afraid that if they take the risk of dating, of starting a new relationship, that they're going to end up right back here. So I have some really, really good news to share with you. When you start living from the inside out, when you take full responsibility for how you feel, you start to take responsibility of how you're thinking, how you're reacting to things, you no longer have to be afraid of that next relationship. And you are not going to end up with a woman like your ex-wife again. Because look at what she's doing. She is moving on so quickly, jumping into a new set of external circumstances to try to improve how she's feeling on the inside, right? So she's buying into that same belief that we have to work from the outside in. What you're learning, hopefully, is that you actually have to work from the inside out. And that completely changes the kind of relationships that you are attracted to and invite into your life. And it also changes the way people respond to you. So you can think of it this way. Imagine if you were somebody who really prides yourself on eating well. Right? You really understand nutrition, you know what your body needs, what it reacts to best. You eat really healthy foods, maybe you eat all organic foods, but you're very health conscious. And you meet somebody who not only loves fast food, but really wants you to love fast food too. And they're like, no, come on, like, let's just go to McDonald's. It's the best. And you're like, no, I really don't feel good when I eat that. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, we'll just go have McDonald's and like, you'll sleep it off. And after a while, you won't even notice that you don't feel so good. And it's like so good. And you get, this rush when you eat it. And like, they love fast food and they're trying to sell you on it. Are you going to be in a relationship with that person for very long? No. You're probably not even going to really keep a friendship going with them if they just keep pushing you to do something that you know is bad for you, that doesn't work for you and your body, that doesn't make you feel good. Right now, you and your ex-wife or your soon-to-be ex-wife, you both are addicted to fast food. You really, really think that that's like the thing that's going to light you up and make you feel good. And what I'm telling you is that there's a better way. You could start eating a healthier diet. And yeah, at first you're not going to have that rush, right? And that rush in relationships is that like desperate, codependent passion that like, I can't live without this person. I'm going to die without this person in my life, that we've really romanticized. That's a lot like the rush you get from eating a Big Mac and a Frosty. I don't know. Maybe a McFlurry is a better example. That rush is temporary, and then you crash later. You don't actually feel so good later. Right? That's what a codependent kind of love is like. And that's what you and your ex have both been stuck in. And that's why she's jumped into a new relationship so quickly, because if she's no longer codependent on you and she's not getting that rush from you, she's got to get it from somebody else. Right? And you think you need that rush from her and you're not getting it from her, so you can't move on and you can't let go and you've got to try to win her back. Right? But both of you are still focused on the wrong thing. Right? You're focused on McDonald's as the answer. The answer is healthy eating. Right? You're focused on the outside in, the answer is inside out. Right? And if you want to have a woman in your life down the road who has done this work on herself, a woman who is self-aware, who is independent, who is happy by herself, within herself, who doesn't need anything from you but wants to share experiences with you, wants to share a life with you, wants to have adventures with you. If you want a partner who can truly be a partner and not a woman who needs you to rescue her from herself, you have to be the kind of man who does that as well. Right? Otherwise, you're the one who's addicted to McDonald's, going up to a woman who's like, no, like, really, I value healthy eating. I really like taking care of my body. And you're like, no, 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 let's go to Wendy's. Right? It's the same addiction pattern. You have to turn inside out first, and then you'll find that those relationships start to come into your life much, much more easily. And what I see my clients experiencing is that this transition doesn't have to take that long. Really, you guys, we can go from outside in codependency to inside out independence in about 60 days. And no, it is not like all finished and perfect and like you never have to think about it again. It really is like a transition from a diet on McDonald's to healthy eating. You have to maintain it. And there's going to be some ongoing layers, some ongoing work to do there. But we can make that initial transition within 60 days. And what I see happening again and again with my clients is that they start out the program and they're like, Rachel, like, I can't let go. I don't really even know what that means. Like, this was the love of my life. I'd planned my whole future with her together. We have a family together. Like, this was my person. This was my life. And I say, okay, I get it. Like, you can't let go right now. You can't understand why she wanted this right now. Can we put that aside for 60 days and focus on you? Let's get to the inside, to the root. Let's figure out what makes you tick, what you need to feel good, to feel whole, to feel confident and complete day by day. We put it aside, we focus on them 60 days. I have a targeted step-by-step system that we go through week by week by week to help them learn how to feel fulfilled from the inside out. And when they do that, at the end of those 60 days, they're always able to step back and go, oh, now I see. And at that point, one of two things happens. If there is a chance for them to reconcile, like if there's any possibility still on the table, that's when it'll start to happen. That's when if she's doing any kind of internal work herself to go from outside in to inside out, she will recognize that in you, and there will be an opportunity to start to build a new kind of relationship. Or, and unfortunately more commonly, she's not doing that work, or she really has already moved on into a new relationship, into a new codependent pattern. And he's able to step back and say, wow, yeah, that's actually not the kind of relationship I want. If she walked up to me today, I wouldn't take her back unless she was willing to do some of this work on herself too. Right, so 60 days, you guys, is really not that long. We can go from that outside-in codependence to an inside-out independence. If you want to learn how to do that, you need my Moving On 101 training. It is a full hour that walks you through what this actually looks like. What is that 60-day process to take back control of your life, living from the inside out instead of dependent on all of these things and all of these people outside of you that you have no control over. Click the link in the video description to get my Moving On 101 free training. This is the training that will start to set you free. 60 days, you guys. 60 days from today. Where will you be? Will you still be watching these videos saying, I can't move on. I don't know how she could do this. I can't believe she's moved on so quickly. This is so painful. I don't know how to deal with this. Or will you say, I know who I am. I am confident and clear inside of myself. And I know that the best days of my life, the best relationships of my life are ahead of me, not behind me. 60 days, you guys. Please pick option number 2. It is so much brighter, so much better. Join me in Moving On 101, and I will show you how to get there.